Interesting. Everything's in letters. There's messages, as we've said. A letter is a message. And so uniquely, there's a code within the alphabet. And it's interesting that the alphabet, we call it the alphabet, because it's almost like a game going on that they use even within the court system that they call the court of chancery in English law. So there must be some kind of chance going on, some chance game, or some kind of gambling that's going on. Now, when we look at this term here, debt of honor, this is dealing with gambling. A debt of honor is something where, as defined, debt of honor is a debt that is not legally recoverable, especially a sum lost in gambling. Now, I know a lot of people have been thinking that they're going to basically recover all the money that they spent in the legal system, saying that they're going to take over the bond, they're going to grab the bond, they're going to get this government certificate of debt, and not realizing it's debt. It's not credit, it's just debt. And they're going to recover this. They're going to have basically the best of both worlds. They're going to have their cake and eat it too. They're going to think they can go down two elective paths. So they're going to play natural and then they're going to play legal at the same time. They're going to try playing spiritual and playing secular, which is completely not going to happen according to Matthew 6:24. You cannot, means it's impossible to serve God and mammon. But they think they can. These people that are engaged in sovereignty movements, believing that they're going to basically, take over this instrument. But in reality, we already know it's canceled from all the other videos. It's really just symbolic that we're carrying something like this, even though it's canceled. The debt was canceled. The certificate of debt was canceled upon Christ's death, and that's a very important event. So in the debt of honor, it works opposite. People are gambling in there with their lives. And so in order to, of course, gamble, they have to enter the game, and they can't recover what they put in it. It's actually defined in law as an immoral contract. And we're going to read what the immoral contract, or what consists of a moral contract. Now, all immoral contracts are void. We're not talking about a covenant, we're talking about immoral contracting. So we're talking about something that's in a gambling arrangement, like almost like a lottery. And it says, a contract to lead an immoral life is void. Now, it said you cannot serve God and mammon, so the mammon side would be deemed to be immoral. That's why it said friendship with the world is enmity with God. What did he start it off with? Ye adulterers and adulteresses. Means you're doing something immoral. You've brought the legal state into your covenant with God, and therefore you've become his enemy. Because now you're in some kind of gaming relationship with them, gambling with a gift of life that God has basically given you, something you can't earn. It's literally a graced gift, of which is invaluable, not valuable. It's priceless. And so going down this direction, people going down the mammon game, it says, but after an immoral course has begun, and a note or other obligation has been given in compensation for damage, as compensation for damages, the obligation can be enforced. Well, that's why they issue a note, which binds someone in the gambling game who are basically going to be part of a game. And we know game, when we talk about it, even in Canada, we have the Fish and Game Act. And the Fish and Game Act is dealing with animals. And remember, when man sinned and went into debt and joined Satan, they got animal skin. So all these cover-up names that we're carrying around there is covering up the truth of who we really are under the gift of Jesus Christ, him canceling out the death completely upon his blood being spilled and God's will being executed. So people are going down a beast journey, because those that remain in that will die like a beast. So that means they don't have the eternity that was promised to those made in God's image. Now they're basically in the image of a man. They're doing idolatry, hired servant wages. They're wagering, they're gaming, they're gambling. And they lose in this game because there's no recovery of the money according to how law works on gambling. Even if you think you've won in a gamble, it's still not your money. It belongs to the house. Caesar's house, the legal house. You can't defy anything without penalties happening down a misconception of thought. So unfortunately, the misconception journey leads to a debt of honor. That's why the judge is in the court. He knows he's going to recover that debt all the time. That's why you refer to him as your honor. He's the honor. He's the guy who basically is dealing with the gaming in the court of chancery on the debtor name that you think that you're going to basically outwit him on. So we got to wake up and smell the coffee. This is reality here that we're giving you fact, and we're explaining how the fiction works. And if you do not comprehend this, you're going to lose your life.